You're on the way to school. You put in your AirPods, you play some Lil Yachty, some Donda. You listen to some music on the way to school, right? And then on the way back from school. Maybe during school too. Maybe in the middle of class. Maybe even in a conversation with someone, you're listening to music. Maybe even while you spend time, you're listening to music. Maybe even when you take a shower, you're listening to music, right? You see where I'm getting at? We listen to music a lot if you're the average person. Most people, we listen to music more than we should. Now, what do you think happens when we listen to music? What do you think happens when all these hours add up? Let's say you spend 1 hour a day listening to music, 365 hours a year. If you want to go even further, like 365 times 10 per decade, I don't know, I'm not doing that math. But all this time it adds up. And what were you doing? You were listening to music. Okay? I'm not going to say it was a waste of time because there's worse consequences than that. Imagine that. There's worse consequences than just wasting your time. So the first thing that music does is it inhibits your brain. Okay? Like when you're doing anything, when you're listening to music or anything, like listening to a podcast, listening to Lil Donda, when you're listening to this, it distracts your brain from having its own thoughts. This means you are an NPC with no authenticity. I'm not saying you're an NPC, that might sound offensive, but like, the more you listen to music every single day, the more you're like an NPC. The more you're like a robot. Think of it like that. Like, think of it like a spectrum. The amount of times you consume music. Like, if you're listening to music all day, you got that AirPod in every second of the day. People do this. I know people who do this. And they're just singing out loud. And then by the time they're done, they forget. They forget the music. It was like, you're just getting instant gratification. You're just being happy in the moment. That's how dopamine works. You're not going to look back 5 years from now and be like, oh, I'm so glad I was listening to that music, right? Just imagine yourself. You're not going to be like that. You're not going to think that. So music inhibits our brains. And that's dangerous because it prevents us from doing anything else, having any good ideas. We can't think of anything when we're listening to music. And you know what disgusts me even more than that? Music alters your beliefs, depending on the music you listen to. Most people, nowadays, we listen to some terrible stuff. These rappers, man, these rappers. The lyrics are so vulgar. Okay, I don't care about the cuss words, okay? But I'm just saying, like, the things in the rap, like talking about women, drugs, sex, and you're listening to that on a daily basis in all your free time, do you think that's going to make you do you think that's going to raise you to your goals? Do you think that's going to make you who you want to be when you grow up? Maybe you want to be like that rapper. And you will be more like that rapper after you listen to his music for hours on end over a year. Because that will subconsciously affect you. Everything you do subconsciously affects you. And the music you listen to is one of them. It's like the quote that goes, you are the average of the 5 friends you have. Same goes for this. You are the average of the music you listen to. You are the average of the work you do. You are the average of everything, basically. Everything you do. And music is one of them. So do you want to be the average of some terrible songs? One of my friends the other day, they were showing me this song and they said it was their favorite one, and it was like, I can't even say the name because it was that bad. I was just so disgusted. Like, do you stand for what's in these lyrics? Do you stand for what's in the lyrics? Because if you don't, and you're just listening to it so because it sounds good, then you're harming yourself. Because even if you don't stand for what's in these lyrics, you're going to become more like those lyrics subconsciously because you're listening to it. Now, I bet you have some limiting beliefs right now, so I'm going to address them, okay? You're thinking to yourself right now, but Faaris, whenever I go to the gym, I need to put on my playlist. I need to put on my gym playlist because I need to get those gains. I need that motivation, that stimulus. No, you don't. Do you really need some noises to get you through your workout? Do you really need it? No, you don't. I don't need it. I run 8 miles a day. And what do you think I do during those 8 miles? I just think. I focus on my running form. I look at the next step I'm going to take. I used to listen to music a lot. And it was so easy going on those runs. But why would you do the easy thing? Why wouldn't you exercise your mental muscles too? Why not maximize both? Because in the end, the mental muscles really matter more. If you don't have the mental capacity to do hard things, then you probably won't even get the physical gains as well. Now, I do listen to some music, but it's not the type you think it is. It's like this tribal music from I don't even know who made it. It's some war music. I'll link in the description. You can check it out later. But it has no lyrics. It's just old stuff, old caveman stuff. That music won't hurt you, but it'll still inhibit your brain. So be careful with that. Don't listen to this all the time. But if you're gonna use music, use it in a productive way. Because the music I listen to, it subconsciously makes me like a warrior. If you're being skeptical about this, I understand, okay? I used to listen to music too, okay? I'm not some abnormal human. I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not Mark Zuckerberg or anything, but I used to listen to music too. I used to listen to rap specifically. I had a 10-hour playlist. I used to listen to that all the time. During math class, during my runs, during everything. I used to listen to it on the way to school, back to school, all that. I was you one time. But then I realized I'm not gonna let a couple words, a couple sounds affect my future. When you look at these disadvantages and advantages, which one weighs more? Your future or the present moment where you get some dopamine? The advantages of not listening to music outweigh that so much. Don't sacrifice your future for some words, bro. Come on. My name is Faaris Faisal. Go check out the playlist in the description if you want to. And yeah, I hope this changes your life. Think big. You gotta take action.